What's poppin', everybody? So, are you going to ask your friends what's poppin'?
How is everything, Mr. Alvarez? How is everybody?
Is there a Mr. Alvarez in this? I don't even know.
Yes, we have.
So, look at those two pigeons. They're
in love. You know,
two pigeons right on the table over there
mating.
going at it.
Yeah.
I could take notes.
Yeah, they
I should take notes. They're mating, according to Joe.
How is Mr. Alfred Luz?
Hi, Alfred Luz. How about Alfred Hinkle? How's Alfred Hinkle?
How you doing, Mr. Alvin?
Alvin Hinkler. Hi, Alvin Hinkler.
Butler.
What's up, everybody? It's your old pal Boogie Bob,
Hi.
along with I don't know who the hell that
How
is.
are
That
you,
Jordan
Mr.
Joe.
Boogie Bob?
I'm here with Jordan Joe. How are you, Jordan Joe?
The temperature is 66 degrees in New York City.
66 degrees.
Very beautiful day.
It's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day.
The wind is,
There's no wind. I don't see no wind.
the wind is 4 miles per hour.
There's no wind. Usually I'm out here reading the papers like this.
Eat,
There ain't no
eat
wind.
some cashews while you sit in the You feel good. That's
Eat
what
some
I did.
cashews. Well, that's a Jordan Joe exclusive. Eat some cashews. Also, today, Joe, we're going to be reading letters from our viewers. That's going to be exciting. Letters
How
from
you
our
doing,
viewers.
Mr. Levin?
Hi, Mr. Letters. Our first letter from a viewer is, Jordan Joe is very handsome. Much better looking than Bob. Signed, Joe's wife. Joe, your wife wrote into the show and said that you're better looking than me.
And I'm saying immigrant prices, how many on the water? About 2 million?
No, I'm reading letters from the viewers.
Okay. How you doing, Mr. Stewart? How is everything? You look very handsome today. What's happening?
I took a shower. I took this thing called a shower. It's very rare for me. Hey, Joe, here's another one. It says, Boogie Bob, I enjoy your show, but I think there should be a bigger segment on bulls. Signed, Anonymous. There should be a bigger segment on bulls. So we're going to work that in. Look at this. Destroyed. New York has been destroyed, and it's all Biden's fault. Where's Biden? There he is. Biden's fault. Also, a kid in Kentucky got in a bicycle accident, Joe, and it's also Biden's fault, and probably Obama's fault. Let's get on with the news and views you can use if you choose. If you choose not to use the news and views and snooze, you lose, you fools. It's not bad. It's not bad. Taylor Swift is walking around New York City, Joe. She's with the squad. There's Gigi Hadid and there's the so-and-so sisters. I don't know who it is, but there's $500 million just walking down the street with their girls. Ooh, bless you, Joe.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you, God.
Thank you,
Let
God.
me sneeze and get the pressure out of my feet.
Joe, they've been making a big deal about this damn Budweiser transsexual thing. So I made a video on it. I think it's got like 2,000 views already. Bud Light senior marketing executive behind the controversial ad campaign featuring a transgender person has taken a leave of absence. Alyssa Heinrichschild, the vice president of marketing for the popular beer, will be replaced by Budweiser global marketing VIP Todd Allen. This paper is a conservative paper. They lost their mind. Every single day on Fox News, we have murders. They're not talking about it. We had Fox News sued for $875 million. They're not talking about it. We've had horrible racist shootings. They're talking about Bud Light. Bud Light.
How you doing?
How you doing, Bud Light? How you doing, Bud Light? That's my daughter in the water. Everything she knows, I taught her. Oh, where's my Bud Light? I did a video. I don't see it.
What I say about walking away from you? What I say about walking get still. No. Because we're not going anywhere.
Yeah, I don't see it.
This is the city. You cannot walk away.
Most people on here probably saw it. Most people probably saw
You
it.
find it?
Nope, not yet, Joe. I might not find it. I got so much stuff on my phone. I probably deleted it. Guys, if you like my channel, or if you hate my channel, you can see my video of my take on the Bud Light debacle. Ecstasy Games, as the Food and Drug Administration will be asked to improve MDMA to treat post-traumatic stress disorder. Oh boy. Joe, remember that Brooklyn alligator they found in the park?
Yeah.
It had a, inside of its stomach, it had a plug like this from somebody's bathtub. It had something, it was raised in a bathtub. These morons get themselves a little alligator in Chinatown illegally. They put it in their bathtub, and a year later, it's so big it just sits in the bathtub. Well, this one was abused. They tried to save it. They gave it surgery. Unfortunately, it has passed away, Joe. The sickly gator, rescued from Brooklyn's Prospect Park Lake in February, succumbed to her injuries and illness from swallowing a bathtub stopper.
I will go to her funeral. Where is
I don't think they're going to put the funeral in here, and I don't think you'd go in. It's a case of severe animal abuse. The nearly 5-foot-long alligator died April 16th at the Bronx Zoo. The necropsy attributed the animal, that's an autopsy but for animals, the animal's death to severe weight loss, extreme anemia, and intestinal and skin infections, as well as chronic ulcer from the bathtub stopper. This is an animal that lived in horrible pain for them. I'm really glad that at least it found comfort and compassion and kindness in the last month or two of its death. Please don't keep these animals in your bathtub, you moron.
I read in the Philippines, all around Philippines, nothing but plastic.
Oh yeah.
Well,
that's
the dirtiest water on earth. This morning,
yes, there's miles and miles. There's this one place where there's like 21 miles of straight plastic.
They don't know they have gold. They can recycle those plastics. They do.
Yeah, but he wasn't called.
The problem is it's one cup. And someone doesn't recycle it, but it's not just one cup. It's one cup a million times. If anybody knows...
Angelina?
Close. It's Kim Kardashian. If anybody knows her phone number, I need to talk to her. It's urgent. It's a matter of life or death. Hi, David Young. Hi, Ambrose. Hi, Rev. Hi, Seashells, South Seashells down by the seashore. The abortion drug went all the way to the Supreme Court. The GOP decided that the drug should no longer be, the pill should no longer be given to women. Went all the way to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court has overturned it. So the pill is still available for now. I don't care about that. I don't care about that. There is a ban. North Carolina is going to ban trans athletes. Listen, trans are near and dear to my heart, but I agree something has to be done about the sports to make it a level playing field. You're not supposed to take steroids because it'll give you much more testosterone. Well, if you're born a male, chances are you probably are bigger and stronger. Not in every case, but in a lot of cases. Hold on one second, guys. Sorry, guys. Girl 12 years old slain in a drive-by shooting, Joe. We talked about this yesterday, but I guess she passed away from her injuries. A 12-year-old girl from Connecticut has died after being shot in the head during a drive-by shooting that targeted 3 other people who were wounded in the gunfire. I hope that they catch these monsters and throw away the creep. In another one of these horrible shootings, Joe, the girl in the driveway drove her car into someone's driveway looking for a home of a friend, and the person ran out on his porch and shot into the car and killed the girl. Hundreds of mourners packed a memorial service in upstate New York Friday for the young woman who was shot dead after her friend pulled into the wrong driveway. You pull a car, pulls into your driveway, and you get out and just start shooting? That's the kind of world you want to live in? With your guns? With your maniacs? This person needs to do life in prison and be punched in the face repeatedly, so the message is clear. You cannot just come outside of your porch and just start shooting people. That's crazy.
Just do it like the old time. The firing squad. You kill, you kill.
If you kill with a gun, you should get killed by a gun, according to Joe.
Correct.
And if you're a rapist, you
How
should
you
be
doing,
raped
Mr.
to death.
Muhammad? Happy holiday. Tell him Ramadan.
Hey, buddy. Joe just called everybody just any name. Joe just makes up any name he wants. Hi, Steve. Guy walked by. Hi, Frank. They always look at him crazy. Yeah, I ain't seen one person smile in 2 years. They look at Joe like, I ain't Steve. Who the hell's Steve?
Do you want the telephone number for those two twins?
No, I do not. I do not want their phone numbers. But volleyball badly injured by bio male. Here's the story. Biological male was playing as transgender in a volleyball game against females. And Peyton McNabb, seen left with American swimmer Riley Gaines, appealed to North Carolina lawmakers to ban transgender athletes for performing against women. Hundreds of mourners pulled for the girl shot dead and her friend pulled into the wrong driveway. Kaylin Gills, 20 of Schuylerville, was killed around 10 p.m. on April 15th when Kevin Monahan, 65, allegedly fired at the car that pulled into his driveway. He just ran out, Joe, and started firing at the car. He was arrested and charged with second-degree murder. Why isn't that first-degree murder? Crowds waited in line for hours at the funeral home to pay their respects for this young, beautiful soul. In addition to her parents, she is survived by 2 sisters, her boyfriend. Can you imagine? Can you imagine?
But she didn't survive. How could she survive?
They were, that's a saying, Joe.
That's a shame.
She was survived by her parents. Joe's never read an obituary before. Here's another letter from a viewer. Dear people, how was your vacation? If anyone there wants to give Joe a car, Joe, here's a letter asking someone to give you a car.
Yes, second-hand car.
Signed anonymous. This note was not from Joe, it says. It says, P.S., how was your vacation? We'll never know who wrote that letter. Alec Baldwin, he has been, all charges dropped against him, Joe. Here's what happened. The gun that he was holding, he has said from the beginning that he never pulled the trigger, that it just went off. And the prosecutors have said that he did pull the trigger, and they had experts saying this kind of gun, old Western gun, cannot shoot without the trigger being pulled. Well, they had over a year to test the gun. They finally tested the gun, and they found out that that gun had been manipulated, and that gun would fire without pulling the trigger. And they dropped all charges. So he's 100% free to go. In fact, here he is on the set yesterday finishing the movie. That's him back on the set. That's him finishing the movie. Release in grandmother shove. Somebody shoved a grandmother, Joe, and they get released. If you shove a grandmother, what should happen to you, Joe?
I used to kiss her hand every time I see her.
Your grandmother?
I appreciate it. Cook for me,
That's
dress
wonderful.
me, to clean my clothes with her own hand.
Shout out to grandmothers. Speaking of grandmothers, our very own Michelle McGraw just had a beautiful baby girl. Precious little angel. I'd show the picture, but I haven't talked to her about it yet. So
Lucky girl.
her daughter gave birth to a beautiful little tiny precious angel. So shout out to Grandma McGraw.
Happy holiday.
Happy holiday, Grandma McGraw. And how was your vacation? An accused serial criminal with a decades-long rap sheet was cut loose Friday after his arrest for allegedly shoving his elderly grandmother off a chair. I can't imagine in what world anyone would shove their grandmother off a chair.
He wants money to smoke dope.
He might. He wants to smoke dope. Kenneth McDonald, 53, was charged with second-degree attempted assault for pushing a 92-year-old woman, Joe, on Tuesday so hard she tumbled from the chair that had broken. He pushed his elderly grandmother while she was sitting in a chair, causing the chair to break and for her to fall down. Can you imagine an elderly... I saw Joe fall down over there. It was horrible. Horrible.
That's abuse.
That is abuse. Manhattan Criminal Court Justice Valentina Morales let him go on supervised release. Why would you do that?
Always got to
Piece of
supervise
shit.
it.
These judges are horrible, Joe. Bopper of Cop back to Rikers. Rikers is the most hardcore jail. It's not a prison, it's a jail. Prison is where you go once you're sentenced. You were found guilty. Rikers Island Jail, Joe, it means you haven't been convicted yet. Some of those guys are out there 3-4 years while it goes to trial. The guy who tried to kill me was out there 3 years, 2.5 years before he was finally convicted. And then once you're convicted, they move you and you go off to prison. And the reason why it's so distinct is because in a jail like that, you could be in there for jaywalking, shoplifting, and you're not in prison for shoplifting with rapists and murderers. You're in jail for shoplifting with rapists and murderers. So there's a lot of violence, horrific, horrible violence at Rikers. A mentally ill Bronx man accused of randomly bashing a female cop over the head with a bottle was ordered back to Rikers Island on Friday. Here's another one, Joe. If you don't got a gun in New York, you get a knife or a pair of scissors. This guy has scissors. An emotionally disturbed man menacing residents with a pair of scissors was shot and critically wounded in the where, Joe?
Bronx.
Of course. On Friday morning, the gunfire involved the 5th police shooting in the past 2 weeks. Boogie Bob, I enjoy your show, but get off the Bronx's back. I love the Bronx. Joe, do you love the Bronx?
And I have nothing to do with it.
He has nothing to do over there.
Sometimes
Just a joke
I
we do.
pass.
He passes by. Okay. Man, they're still talking about this this worker. Here's the bad news about that garage that collapsed, Joe. All the workers are coming out now, Joe, and they're saying they all knew it was going to happen. There was cracks in the walls. They would hear things shifting around. You got to go to work. They're like, yo, I hope it doesn't fall on us today. Well, it finally did. An employee who survived the Manhattan parking garage collapse said he and his fellow workers were well aware of the cracks in the building and that the manager who died in the tragedy even warned ownership about it several times. There's going to be a whole lot of lawsuits going.
Yeah, and 50, they said around 50 cars were smashed.
Going to be a whole lot of slow singing and flower bringing if my burglar alarm starts ringing. Look at these cars, Joe. Just piled up there. You're in a parking structure and it collapses. They're just going to be like Hot Wheels.
We're very lucky nobody got hit, only one.
Well, the cleanup of the deadly garage collapse this weekend remains very dangerous and incredibly complex as emergency workers try to safely remove the remaining vehicles.
They're going to remove the building too.
They're going to have to tear the whole building down. You can't fix it. Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg and House Republicans struck a deal Friday that allows the Judicial Committee to question an ex-prosecutor about Donald Trump's criminal case. He's got about 11 criminal cases right now, including a sexual assault case that's come back to haunt him. You can get away with a lot of stuff, but sooner or later the chickens come home to roost, my friend. If anybody at all gives a crap about me, we all say you do. Here's a letter from home. It says, Dear Boogie Bob, if you know this woman's number, please. Like a cute couple. Like Little Bo Peep and her lost sheep, you make a nice couple of creeps. Governor's jail, this guy goes free. Accused killer, stepdad. This is the stepdad who choked his stepson to death. Was released from jail thanks to a judge who granted his last-ditch appeal Friday. Just weeks before he... Joe, I think it's about time. I think it's about time.
Well, what a shame. A lot of bad news today.
Here's another letter. Boogie Bob, if you do the astroscopes today, can you just do Taurus over and over again? But it sounds like a good idea. Joe, I'm going to spin the wheel.
How is Taurus?
Nice, good. Taurus is a tourist who tours. I'm going to spin the wheel, Joe. We're only doing 2 today. We're letting the colors, so whatever the colors say is what we're doing. This is a treat and exclusive. By the way, I cleaned my nails. It's Aquarius, Joe. Aquarius, Taurus, Scorpio, and Leo. It's a 4-for-1 Jubilee. Aquarius, Taurus, Scorpio, and Leo. Off the road, folks.
How are you, man?
How are you, Mr.
I thought he was crying. Funny, huh? Okay,
Very funny when children cry, though. Hilarious.
Aquarius.
Joe, did you know that we're living in the dawn of the age of Aquarius?
Thank God that time is gone. It's the new year is almost we froze here.
Nope. I don't speak Joe.
Aquarius
I need an
time.
interpreter.
A
I don't
great.
want anyone looking at my watch. Don't look at the watch.
This watch worth about $30 or more.
A little more than that. $30.
Okay, because Aquarius, a great deal of patience will be needed when dealing with employers and other authorities figures over the next 48 hours.
Yeah, let them see your pretty face, Joe.
The planet warns if you are openly disapproving of their actions, it could rebound on you later.
That's a fact.
So go easy on the criticism. You just told a guy to go to work and you want him to do his work just perfect.
I don't know what Joe's talking about.
Leo,
Hell, he's talking about.
you need to deal...
How was your vacation, Mr. Purple?
How you doing?
Hi, man.
Everybody take a vacation
Everybody take a vacation.
and enjoy your summer, spring and summer. Leo, you need to deal urgently with the personal or family issue that has been bothering you for weeks, maybe months.
Maybe
The
years.
fact that it has come to the boil is a good sign in that it gives you the excuse you need to demand that changes are made.
It demands that changes are made.
Scorpio,
Joe, do you know any Scorpios?
you.
That's me. I'm hoping that there's a little somewhere in the broadcast. I don't think there is, though. It never seems to be. It's always Gemini who gets all the action. Scorpio don't get no action.
Great deal of patience will be needed when dealing with employers and other authorities figures over the next 48 hours. The planet warns if you are openly disapproving of their actions, it could rebound on you later. So go easy on the criticism.
Didn't you read that one already? What are you going to read? It
That's-
sounds like you read it
I
twice.
read it, and now we read Scorpio again.
You didn't read it once. You just,
That was Aquarius.
I know, you read Aquarius already.
Okay, I forgot. I said it again.
Alright. You read, so Aquarius, you want to read Aquarius for a third time, Joe, in case they didn't get it the first two? Something about employer and don't regret it.
Those guys put their hands on their ears now. If I
Most
say it
of them
the
went to
third
get a
time,
salad, yeah.
They don't want to hear it again.
All right. How can we do Scorpio now?
Sometimes you get the impression that you are the only one who has a firm grasp on reality.
That's a fact.
But what occurs this weekend will assure you that you are in no way alone.
I'm alone. 8 million people and I'm all alone.
Seek out people who think like you and do remarkable things all together.
Remarkable things. It maybe is that. Sounds like Joe's saying I might get lucky. I don't
Yes.
speak Joe, so I need an interpreter. Joe, do you think I'll get lucky tonight?
I think so, yes. Tonight is Saturday night.
Saturday night and I ain't got nobody. Joe, did you do birthdays today?
Well, we have to go to the Taurus.
Oh. Okay.
Taurus, how are you, my best friend?
You're his
Taurus?
best friend, Taurus. Mighty Bull and the Jordan Joe show should collide and do a collaboration, I think.
Your sign says you are very
Stubborn.
pleasant to talk to.
Yesterday you said they were stubborn.
Stubborn is not necessary to say stubborn. They are lovable people.
That's fact. That's a fact.
So-
Mighty Bull's very lovable.
Stop what you are working on and refuse to take even one more step until partners and colleagues agree to make more of an effect.
Stop until partner.
Just because
Colleagues.
just because you are capable of shouldering the full workload does not mean you are alone.
Okay. All right. What the hell Joe's talking about? But I'll take it.
It's my words are only some intelligent people understand my way. I am a
I know, but I'm
philosopher.
dumb.
I'm a philosopher.
He's a
So
philosopher.
educated people will understand what I
Yes.
say
That's Joe's way of
and what
saying that.
I
I'm stupid.
mean.
All right, Joe. We got birthdays. Joe, your friend's coming over
How
here.
is your
Oh.
friends, my friends? Okay. Today,
They know we're doing a show. They know. Hey, what's up, man? How's it going?
How you doing?
Hey, hello.
You on now?
Yeah, we're on. We're almost done.
Daniel Jones.
I don't know who the hell that is. Who's Daniel
He
Jones?
is Australian singer.
Australian singer. Okay.
He's 44 years old. Amber Heard.
Amber Heard is the ex-wife of Johnny Depp. She just had a very large lawsuit against him, and she lost. She's also an actress. She was in Drive Angry, among lots of other movies.
Did you put it on?
Huh? Huh?
No, I
You know
saw
what-
you with the camera, big camera for the television.
Oh, yeah. I put it on
that.
that day. Yeah, the Phantom of the
Last
Opera.
day, yeah.
Yes.
Amber Heard. Okay, Marshawn Lynch.
Marshawn Lynch is called Beast Mode. He was a running back for the Oakland Raiders. He retired after like 2 or 3 seasons, and he played for Seattle first. Joe, he's from Oakland, California. Believe it or not, he's cousins of one of my very best friends, Mr. Fab, the rapper. Straight out of Oakland, baby. Mr. Fab. Happy birthday, Beast Mode. He's got to be like only 30 years old, multi-millionaire.
Happy
He
birthday.
quit. He quit in the middle of
Is
his thing.
it Mother's Day or Earth Day?
Huh?
I thought it was Mother's Day.
Mother's Day today?
No, Earth Day. Earth Day. Earth Day.
I don't know what you're saying.
Earth.
Earth Day. Oh, I don't know. That's Joe's thing. Joe never knows what the heck is going on.
Robert Oppenheimer was born
I'm
on
kill
this day.
myself. Huh? Robert Oppenheimer?
Who was it out of you?
Who the hell is
You
that?
know who is he?
Nope.
That's the guy who built the Oppenheimer. He doesn't know.
I don't know. I don't know one thing, so I'm a piece of
Eddie
crap.
Albert.
Eddie Albert was the actor. I think he was the husband on Green Acres. Green Acres is the place to be. I could be wrong. Eddie Albert. I'm pretty sure it was Eddie Albert. With
Betty-
Zsa Zsa Gabor.
Betty Page.
Betty Page was a pinup girl in the 50s and the 60s. She was extremely risque for the era. She wore bustiers and had a buxom body. Betty Page was a
Hey, you said something
huge, huge star. What else you got, Joe?
Glenn Campbell.
Glenn Campbell is a rhinestone cowboy.
Does everything.
He was a huge star, 70s, 80s. His last thing was, I forget the name of it, but he ended up, after being this huge superstar for years, he ended up having a severe case of dementia. He's passed away now. He says, I think the name of the last song he recorded and the documentary was called If I Don't Remember You, and it was dedicated to his daughter because he just couldn't even remember who his own children were. It was very sad. But if you get a chance, type in documentary and it'll come up. What else we got, Joe?
Jack Nicholson.
Jack Nicholson, one of our great actors. I think he's a 2-time Academy Award winner. You know him from The Shining, of course. You know him from a whole bunch of movies like Witches of Eastwick. But Shining is in Chinatown. Those are some of his biggest movies. He's also courtside at every single Lakers game. He's the biggest Laker fan. NBA basketball. You're wearing the Lakers colors today, Joe. Are you playing basketball later?
Basketball?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
Played for the Mets.
Joe's playing basketball for the New York Mets. What else you got, Joe?
Paul Carrack. Paul Carrack.
Never
He's
heard
a
of
rock
him.
singer. Yeah.
Paul Carrack.
Shavo. Who is Shavo of the Jam? Have you
Another
met
one I
them?
never heard of.
Let's
Just
have
because
you-
Joe writes it down don't mean I heard of it.
All right. Vladimir Lenin.
That's a Russian oligarch and one of the, it's not
The
Lenin,
founder of the Soviet.
founder of the Soviet Union, according to Joe.
Is the last one, Marshawn Lynch.
You already read him. That's
The-
beast mode. How you gonna read it?
on the dead side. Henry Royce. Who is that?
I'm gonna assume he's one of the builders of Rolls Royce, one of the brothers. I don't know.
Royce. It's Royce. It's right. The founder of the Rolls Royce company.
Rolls Royce. All right.
Jane Froman.
Who?
James Roman.
Never heard of her.
Cesar Chavez.
Cesar Chavez was a civil rights leader for Hispanics, Mexicans, Mexican Americans in the 60s, 70s, 80s. He was like a Martin Luther King for the Hispanics. Is that all you got, Joe?
He's the founder of the labor union.
Of the labor union. He made sure that the immigrants who came from Mexico and through South America that came here to do the manual labor, picking fruit and lettuce, and it was very hard work, and they had no rights, zero. And he stood up for them. Hey Joe, we do got a little bit more news to get to.
Richard Nixon died on this day.
Richard Nixon, why isn't he on your list, Joe?
He is.
Richard Nixon was the 38th president.
1913.
He was embroiled in a horrible. Guys, sorry. Watergate and scandal. And Joe's friends have infiltrated the show. Indiana University stab, a hate crime. A woman accused of repeatedly stabbing an 18-year-old University of Indiana student in the head just for being Chinese has been charged with a federal hate crime. Billy Davis, 56, was previously booked on state charges of attempted murder, aggravated battery in connection to the January 11th attack on a city bus in Bloomington. She allegedly told cops she targeted her victim strictly because she was Chinese. That's a hate crime, and she should never get out of prison for doing that. Stabbing a young girl who's, oh boy, I hate to see this, Joe. Tourist kid, 9 years old, shot and killed. A tourist. 9-year-old Bronx boy was fatally shot in a botched robbery earlier this week while on vacation with his dad in the Dominican Republic.
And the Dominican Republic.
They got shot in Dominican Republic?
Yeah, after a robbery attempt. He took a bullet to the head when the car he was traveling in was swarmed by a gang of robbers. A lot of these countries, you pull up in your car and they just swarm out and they're going to rob you. Nothing you can do.
You know, the president of that country is Palestinian.
The Dominican Republic? Oh, really?
Yeah, his father immigrated to Dominica.
Yeah.
He was a doctor. And his son became a doctor. Then he became the president of the Dominican Republic.
Oh.
That's the worst place to visit.
Dominican Republic?
If you go there, you have to wear old clothes, isn't it?
Yeah, Joe says his friend goes there, he doesn't wear shoes because he's afraid he's going to get robbed.
If you
for his
wear shoes, they take it off you.
A family in Melbourne, Australia has an unexpected and rattling visit from a wild deer. They're sitting around watching TV, eating food, and a damn deer ran into their house. They received multiple calls and text messages stating there's a deer in my house. Blood is everywhere. The deer had broken into the ground floor. The deer had spotted a reflection in the glass and thought it was another deer, and it went in and started attacking everybody. Oregon squatters burn a bar home. An abandoned Portland, Oregon tavern burned to the ground this week with a blaze sparked by squatters who had been harassing the crime-riddled community. No, that's like your home when they burnt down your place. They're just squatters. They don't care who lives there. They're going to start a fire in the middle of the damn living room, and everybody there loses everything. A guardsman smuggle bus, an Arizona correctional officer. These are the guys that you put in charge of watching prisoners, who was also an Army National Guardsman, was caught Tuesday allegedly driving more than 50 pounds of drugs across the Mexican border.
50 pounds.
Have fun in jail, my friend. Lucky they don't send them back to the Mexico prison. American prison's no problem. It's horrible. But you go to a Mexican prison,
What about it?
you better like dick. That's what I'm saying. Fernando Urtugillian, 34, was allegedly smuggling 50 pounds of methamphetamine, 2 pounds of heroin inside his car in the gas tank. When the California Highway Patrol officers cuffed him, he was booked on $3 million bail. Somebody, somewhere, is going to want their money for those drugs. So if he doesn't do 40 years in prison, he's going to be killed by someone who wants their damn money. Fuel train, look at this, Joe. A fuel truck crashed. A fatal truck crash on the highway. Look at that, Joe.
Where is that?
That happened. One person was killed and 2 others were injured Friday in Connecticut. Horrible. Per aide on parole, Westchester County lawmakers are facing questions about keeping an aide. This guy is, Westchester County lawmakers are facing questions about keeping one of their workers despite being tipped off to a video that showed him trying to meet underage girls. Should be fired on the spot. Boy. Is there any good news anywhere, Joe? Do we have any good news today? Not one story.
The newspaper always not news.
Bad news. UK's deputy prime minister has been fired for bullying other people. You can't be a bully. You can't have that kind of position and be a bully on people.
Where is that? Where is that?
UK, the United Kingdom.
Oh, well, deputy mayor?
No, the deputy prime minister.
Oh my God.
That's about as big as it gets. That's like the vice president. Pretty big. The prime minister received investigating report into 8 formal complaints that Rob, who was also justice secretary, has been abusive towards staff members during a previous stint. Can't treat your subordinates like crap or it will come back and get your ass. This guy's one of the biggest stars on the planet right now. He just got signed to Marvel Comic Universe. You know him from the movie Creed. Big actor. He beat up his girlfriend in the back of a taxi in New York City, Joe, and now every one of these movie companies is refusing to work with him. Disney is facing a looming crisis over its multi-million-dollar star Jonathan Majors after he was charged with assaulting his girlfriend. Now, at least 5 other women he's dated have come forward saying he has abused them as well. There's no place in Hollywood for this guy. Did you hear about Russia's latest attack, Joe? Their latest bombing? This is a huge humiliation for Putin, as if he hasn't had enough already. Russia bombed its own city. A Russian fighter jet accidentally bombed a Russian city in Belgorod. It's a border town of Ukraine, but they caused a massive blast, injuring 3 people, lifting a car onto the roof of a store. Nobody was killed, but they bombed their own city. Moron. How are you, moron? Tonight is a huge fight. It's Gervonta Davis. They call him Tank Davis. This guy is 28-0 with 26 knockouts. He's fighting Ryan Garcia, 23-0 with 19 knockouts.
Garcia with who?
He's going to fight Gervonta Davis. Here's the thing.
Oh my God,
They're
this
betting
is very huge.
It's huge. It's the biggest fight in a long time. Both
Because,
undefeated.
Davis is very strong.
He's 28-0.
The
other guy's really fast, and here's the difference. It's almost like
I just was watching now. Garcia against somebody.
Well, guess what? They decided to bet their purse. It's the first time this is going to.
When is this fight?
Tonight. It's
Tonight,
on pay-per-view.
Where?
You ain't got $80. You ain't watching it. It's on
Where?
Pay-per-view in Las Vegas.
In Las Vegas. Oh, it's huge. It's huge.
Well, they decided to bet their purse. They're both going to be paid like $40 million.
Yes.
They decided to bet their salary against each other. So someone's going to be fighting for free. We'll see if they're man enough.
How is that?
If they're getting paid $40 million and you're getting paid $40 million, and he says, "Let's bet our money." The winner keeps everything.
Winner keeps 80 million.
Winner keeps it all.
The 80 million.
Well, whatever their price is that they're getting paid.
They must have a lot of money, though.
They're both very, very wealthy, but to bet your
This
whole
is
purse,
very, very huge.
to bet your whole purse is
Edward,
idiotic.
you want David there?
You know where you
Fatir.
can get it
Sorry,
for the
guys.
beer?
I think it's the guy Davis win.
45th, 45th, and 8th. You know where we went for beer a long time ago? And we watched the boxing there.
The Blue Jays beat the Yankees
Oh, that's
6-1.
The $80
The
They
Mets
pay
beat the
$20
Giants
at least.
$20.
But it was
7-0. Kill me,
Wanna
please.
watch it?
Was it?
Wanna watch it tonight?
If someone out there will kill me, I'll give you $40 right now.
Wanna watch it in Atlantic City? Maybe they make a good pay there.
Huge.
The Islanders beat the Hurricanes 5-1 in hockey. Joe, I know you're a big hockey fan.
التهيون دفاع العيال دول اكثر عيلين في
The Knicks beat the Cavaliers 99-79. The Knicks have won
No.
2 of their championship games. They're in the playoffs for the first time
بس
in a while. Guys, I'm going to call it here. I can't. I want to thank everybody for tuning in.
Very
I
good.
appreciate
What time
it.
they start the fight?
You gave a
I
lot
have
of...
no idea. I'm
لان
not gonna watch it.
this guy Davis is sponsored by Mayweather.
He was technically, but now he's also beat up women, so nobody wants to sponsor him either.
Oh, Davis?
Davis, he's a woman beater.
Yeah,
Yeah, beat up his girlfriend 2 or 3 times.
he got one kid.
He's a horrible person. I hope he gets knocked out. He's a great boxer.
Oh.
He's a very tough,
Yeah.
very small, but very muscular. It hits very hard.
Yeah.
Listen, guys, I want to thank everybody for tuning in. I hope that you have a beautiful, blessed weekend. I want to thank my dear friend Joe. Please be kind and loving to each other. Let's talk again real soon. Don't know if I'll be here tomorrow or not, Joe. God bless you all. We'll
I'll
talk
see you
again
tomorrow.
later.
I want to start the channel.
I know, you've been saying that for 2
Yeah,
years.
when you have